Baseball fans, you're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Welcome into On Deck, as always. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Really do appreciate it. We are, of course, officially in Major League Baseball's postseason, and that means it's time to preview the Wildcard series, this time between the Rays and the Rangers. And we're going to start with taking a look at the Tampa Bay Rays, who always have starting pitching. They don't lack it this year either. Tyler Glasnow will take Game 1, followed by Zach Eflin in Game 2. I would think Zach Littell for Game 3. There is no Shane McClanahan. Of course, he's out with Tommy John. That will affect them either in this series or a series beyond. I think not having him would of course, make a huge difference in any postseason series. Their bullpen is pretty good as well. Old man Jake Diekman, 2.18 ERA leading that one. Colin Poche, Kevin Kelly, Pete Fairbanks. They got a solid staff pitching-wise. Their offense is a little lackluster. Of course, you got some stars like Randy Arozarena, Josh Lowe, but beyond that, you're missing a lot. Of course, we all know about Wander Franco. You're also missing Brandon Lau. And really, there's not a lot of names in their lineup that jump off the page as guys that just mash, right? That's not who the Rays are. It's never who they are. But I think their pitching staff is really what they, hold their hat on. And there's also a lot of question marks. Again, you have some absences. No Wander Franco, no Brandon Lau. You're coming off of a broken hand with Jose Siri. There's a lot of question marks throughout the lineup. But then you have the Texas Rangers. And let me just say before we really get into this, as an outsider, a guy that doesn't watch Texas all the time, I love what the Rangers have done this season in terms of the way they've built themselves. Because before this year, no one was really looking at the Texas Rangers as a threat in the postseason. And I again, love the way they built themselves. They went out and got a veteran manager, a guy who's managed in the postseason before, Bruce Bochy. You know that leadership's got to have an impact. You also went and signed Jacob deGrom. I know he's not available now. We'll get to that in a second. But they went and got guys that make sense. They got Corey Seager. They got Marcus Semien, Adolis Garcia, Mitch Garver, Nathan Eovaldi. They went out and got a lot of pieces, a lot of veterans, and a lot of guys that can play right now. And I think, honestly, when you look at them, I think this is what the New York Mets were trying to do. I just think the Texas Rangers had better results, frankly. I mean, when you look at those strategies side by side, the Mets go out and get Buck Showalter, a veteran manager, managed in the postseason before. Rangers go out and get Bruce Bochy. They signed Verlander. Rangers signed deGrom. I mean, they've just had very similar ways of doing things. I just think that, frankly, the Rangers have had better results, and whether that's luck or whether that's, just the culture in the clubhouse, whatever the case may be, I think the Rangers have done an excellent job in building themselves up. Now, that said, when you look at the Rangers starting rotation, they're not going Nate Eovaldi in Game 1. They're going Jordan Montgomery, who's got a 2.79 ERA since being with Texas. And Nate Eovaldi's a guy I like pitching in the postseason. He's had a lot of great postseason moments. I think he could very well have another one in this series. They got a couple long relief starters if they need them. Andrew Haney, Martin Perez. But Jordan Montgomery, Nathan Eovaldi, Dane Dunning potentially in Game 3. And their bullpen's got some name value. Of course, if you don't remember, they traded for Aroldis Chapman from the Kansas City Royals earlier this year. They also got Chris Stratton, Cody Bradford, Jonathan Hernandez, Jose Leclerc, Brock Burke, and Will Smith. And I'm going to take a second to talk about Will Smith for a second because his 4.40 ERA, I know it doesn't look like much. For you Rangers fans out there, I'm fully aware that it's not what you want in a closer, and you're feeling a little bit rocky right now. And it very well may turn out that Will Smith doesn't have a good postseason. So let me get out ahead of that and say that I'm not a fortune teller. But if you go back and look at 2021, that guy clutched up so well for the Atlanta Braves. It wasn't even funny. He didn't give up one run in the entire postseason. Closed out the NLDS, closed out the NLCS, closed out the World Series as well. He was in a lot of those big moments, and he's a guy that at least has the veteran approach and won't have as many nerves as someone else. And the other thing is you also have Aroldis Chapman ready to go. And I know his ERA doesn't look great, but in the postseason, if you tell me that I have Aroldis Chapman to go to, I'm feeling pretty good. Their offense, again, we've mentioned some of these names already. Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Nathaniel Lowe, Adolis Garcia, Mitch Garver. They're second in average in all of baseball. They're third in on-base percentage, fourth in homers. They got a stellar offense. Mitch Garver, the DH, 87 games, 19 homers. That's pretty darn good. I mean, they've got a lot of guys that can produce this postseason. And, I look at that. I look at, the fact that they're third in slug and OPS. I mean, their offense doesn't have any question marks. And to be honest with you, this is one of the few teams that, focused on their bench as well. Ezekiel Duran, he plays everywhere, 276 average, 14 homers. He's a guy that if called in, you're not going to worry about his at-bat. Robbie Grossman, I love Robbie Grossman. He used to play for the Atlanta Braves. What a player that guy is. And I think he could have a moment this postseason as well. But I think it's pretty obvious where we go from here. I think this pick is obvious. When you look at what the Rays don't have, when you look at what the Rangers do have, I think the pick on paper has got to be the Rangers, right? But granted, this is the Tampa Bay Rays, who always seem to find a way to make it deep in a postseason. So I say that what all the Rays don't have, but they've also been there before. They may not have it, but they may just work around it, and that seems to be their identity, and that's great. I'm not going to doubt that they do that, but if I got to make a pick right now, I'm going with the Texas Rangers walking away with this series and advancing to face the Baltimore Orioles in the NLDS. So that's my pick. Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Do you think it will be the Texas Rangers, or do you think it'll be the Tampa Bay Rays? For my money, it's the Texas Rangers. But with that said, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you can see more content just like this throughout the MLB postseason. We'd love to hear from you again down below in the comments section. We'll see you next time right here at On Deck.
Baseball fans, make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you for your support.